3, 2, and 1. Good.
Bigger clap, man.
My bad. I
No
got you.
little boy claps.
I got you. I got you a fat clap. All right, like a solid one. All right, say less. 3. I got you. Oh, damn. I'm learning new shit. 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy C-I-double-Z-Y, you dig, live action, Kansas City, Missouri. You already know how we get down. Every week we bring a dope guest on, and unfortunately I failed y'all the past 2 weeks. I didn't bring nobody on, but I'm still the shit, so it really don't matter, and y'all still listening, so I guess we lit. It's a sunny day outside today, which always brings good energy. If y'all follow me on Instagram or Twitter, y'all know y'all see me lit this morning, feeling good, feeling hype, and I'm feeling even better now that I'm in this seat next to my guy. And if you're watching this on camera, you already know who's here. And if you don't know who's here, introduce yourself, my boy. Let them know.
What's going on? My name is A'sean, hip-hop artist, from Kansas City, Missouri.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. You want to know something funny? It's actually not funny because I be getting mad when people do this to me. I've been pronouncing your name wrong for a cool 3 years. So
everybody do, bro.
So it's A'sean.
A'sean. Yeah, everybody say my name wrong, though.
That's crazy. So did your peoples give you a reason behind why they named you that?
Nope.
Nope.
Just the A in front of Sean. I don't know why.
It was just like A'sean, and you're like, all right.
I think they threw the apostrophe there for a little bit of sauce, but
I saw you when you walked in today, and you were like, you should to say what's up to Mark. You was like A'sean. I was like A'sean. I was like, I almost got confused. I said, damn, that sounds like one of my cousins in Africa. I got confused, but anyways,
it definitely got a little sound something to it. I don't know.
Hell yeah, but it's still fly.
Typical
it's still
Black
fresh.
American name. But
hell yeah, it would have been easier to just be like A'sean, but we ain't atypical out here.
You know what I'm saying?
We different.
I either hear A'sean or Ushawn. It's never A'sean.
Yeah, my name's Ka'alis, ladies and gentlemen. No, let me stop fucking around. Let me stop playing. But look, ladies and gentlemen, we have him on today because the first time we had him on, we got to tell that story real quick. He is actually, I believe, like my second guest in Kansas City when I came back from LA. First one I don't really remember, so he might have been the first one, but I ain't gonna
talk about it. Man.
We you know what, we gonna go with number one. So he was the number one guest we had when we got back to the city, and we were just talking about it. I kind of pulled up with the ratchet tree with the little blue Yeti, blue Yeti mic. Had one blue Yeti mic USB plugged into the laptop. Took the laptop, sat it on my knee. Mike on the couch right here. Shout out to old boy that hit him in his DM today saying he's the boy that be on the couch. Because we was on the couch.
Because I was on the couch when he sent me that message. That's really sick.
That's crazy. He gonna watch this too, and then he just gonna be
probably
comment under it. I know I was right. But yeah, man, pulled up at the crib, right? I believe so. Yeah, pulled up at the crib, and we just chopped it up. It was the first time I met him in person, and I always say I got to get you back on for a part 2 to a lot of people, but this was one individual that I really needed to get back on for a part 2 for a multitude of reasons. Number one being I lost half of that episode, and so I couldn't upload it for real.
He talked a lot longer than with that episode.
Yeah, I had like maybe 15 minutes of audio that I recovered out of like an hour and a half. But it's all good. So that was number one reason. Number two, the energy Sean provides to really any space he enters, whether it's digitally or whether it's physically, is really, I'm gonna use a big word. I don't even know if it makes sense in this sentence, but it sounds right. Immaculate. It's just this powerful energy, and I tell him that as much as I can throughout the year. Just be like, yo, music, vibes, energy provided is always pure, and pure people belong on an episode more than once. So thank you for tapping in. You're back in town. Where are you coming in from?
Past like 9 months, I've been living in Long Beach. So we coming in town from Long Beach, just coming in, making sure I'm working on this music. My boy Whoa, producer, everything, he still live here. So I got to come tap in with him, then tapping in with the rest of the team. We got a concert on the 18th that we throwing. It's going to be free admission. I prefer people, if they want to support, buy some clothes. Y'all had a show in the music and shit for the free. But now I'm back to get my content pieces ready for this rollout because, I got an album finished. But here to get my content pieces finished, tap in with my people with a concert and create new music, bro. As much new music as I possibly can while I'm here.
Hell yeah. How's it feel to be back?
Man, it feel good, bro. It feels so good to eat barbecue again. Like,
Because the barbecue in LA is trash, respectfully.
I mean,
in my opinion,
I'm just not gonna try.
That's a smart decision.
You know?
I be eating too much. I'll try everything.
I'm just not gonna try. And sure, I miss the food again. Just food in general. I miss my people. I mean, outside of like family and like my friends and stuff. But I just miss. I don't know, bro. Something about this city. Like, it ain't the biggest city. It ain't always plastered with like a bunch of eventful shit to do. But it just feel like home.
Hell yeah. I think that's one thing that the town has mastered. It knows how to reel you back in. So like two things got to be in order when you come back home. Number one, who you surround yourself with. Number two, you got to make sure you still got your mind right and focus is good, which I'm sure you do. But I know when I used to come back in town, it always used to be like scary to me because I was happy to be home to come visit. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, this is home at the end of the day. You know, like I feel the same way. There's just a certain energy. It's not like there's no crazy events going on all the time or a whole bunch of dope ass creative parties, which there is dope creative parties. But I'm saying it's not every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday like it is in LA or bigger cities. But there's definitely this energy if you grew up here that, always going to treat the heart right. But you got to make sure you still focus because you'll end up right back in place with some other folks that are just stagnant, and that's the dangerous thing about going home. No matter where you live, though, because if you think about it, if I don't know how many conversations you've had with a lot of native LA people, they love their town, but them folks we want to get out of there too. Like they be trying to move to like somewhere else. They try to go to New York or trying to go to Chicago or just trying to get out of LA proper and move somewhere else in Cali. At least that's been my experience when I was out there.
Everybody want to get away from home. It don't matter where you from. Everybody want to get away from home. And everybody complain about their city.
It's hilarious too, isn't it? Like everybody trying to get out. Like I'm trying to get out of here. You go over here. They're like, I'm trying to get out of here. You trying to get out of here? What you mean you trying to get out of LA? I'm lost.
On me. So yeah, that's just how I be in the cities. But shoot, when I come here, I know like, bro, I'm here for a specific reason. Stay on the task. Don't veer off too much. Like for real, I'll probably be overworking myself when I get here. Honestly, I really don't spend enough time with my family while I'm here. But when I'm here, it's certain stuff that I can do here resource wise that I haven't built out there yet. So when I'm here, I want to take advantage of that full on as much as I can. Make sure I get every bit of my time out here properly used because I gotta go back.
Eventually, hell yeah. So I'm sure people on camera right now, or they might already follow you on Instagram or social networks, and they see the SWAN everywhere. Whether they see a hashtag SWAN and letters, whether they see a literally a logo, whether they see a neck tat, which I just caught right now. I ain't never seen that before. I didn't know that was there.
Yes, sir.
But can you kind of let the people who don't know already what SWAN means, and then kind of how it came about, like the birth of SWAN?
Well, SWAN is an acronym for Secretly We're All Nerds. I just feel like we all got something that's weird about us or like something that's off. And I feel like you one step closer to happiness once you can embrace the fact that you might be a little weird, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but the idea of it originally came from when I first graduated high school, like after my first year of school. I always was like big in writing. I mean, I write music, but I like have a lot of like TV show ideas I want to do in like movies and documentaries. And SWAN was originally just gonna be a documentary, and like a lot of the like people I went to high school with that was like varsity athletes and these like the jocks when they are in college, and now you majoring in technology. You're majoring in design and photography. Like, bro, y'all used to make fun of these kids who ran like Naruto. Y'all was weird the whole time. So I wanted to like kind of interview the cool kids of high school and like just figure out why kids from the age of 13 to 17 feel like they can't be themselves in social settings and pick on people who are actually able to be themselves. And then as I was writing my interview questions down, and I was looking at the interview questions and like what I wanted to represent music, and I'm like, this is really one and the same. Like I could make SWAN everything. Like it doesn't just have to be this documentary idea I had, and I just ran with it.
Hell yeah,
just ran with it. So SWAN became everything.
I love it, and I think like that conversation is still important today. Though we think about it's kind of funny because you can imagine how unified a community could be if we could all just accept the fact that people are different and we should love and treat everybody with, respect based off their authenticity and not who they're portraying themselves to be. And once we can do that, then people who are portraying themselves to be something that they're not will be more comfortable being authentic in themselves. And at the end of the day, it's an internal journey. How people behave in society doesn't always affect an individual. They got to make the decision at the end of the day to be them, right? But
100%.
But if everyone lived in their authenticity and lived in their truth, so much more unity, so much more collaboration, so much more, just dope acceptance would happen. Because when you were saying that, I was just thinking about high school, like all the kids that could have been cool with each other, but they weren't because they were like, oh, he weird. Meanwhile, they like the exact. I was talking about this shit yesterday with Altron. I was like, bruh, I remember in high school, folks would be in the hallway like really on some Harry Potter shit, like having wars in the hallway, like Expelliarmus.
And then, really fire,
but that shit really fire. I was watching Harry Potter at home like crazy. Really tough, that shit was tough. I was doing that with my brother at home. I just wasn't about to do it in public at school. You know what I'm saying? But if you would just allow yourself, that's a new friend. That's a new friend group. Open, bro. That's more conversations, and then once a conversation's initiated, things can move on past the basic shit of Harry Potter and get into a deeper relationship where
common interest.
Exactly. So I love that. I think you kind of answered it, but let's say like moving forward from like 2022 and like just your idea for the brand and the mission of SWAN moving forward. Where do you see it going? What do you see yourself doing with the entire brand? Right now, I feel like, and I could be wrong, but at least for me, I associate SWAN kind of primarily with you and then the t-shirt brand. But like, where do you see it expanding? Like, is there, events? Is there charity? Like, where do you see SWAN expanding? What industries or what worlds?
Man, SWAN is when I think of SWAN, I think enterprises and like corporations like Disney and shit. Mm-hmm. It's my imagination of it. Like Disney is even a part of shit that people don't know Disney's a part of.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Fucking Disney has ESPN.
Just learned that like last year.
Disney has fucking Marvel. Mm-hmm. Disney is all over the place. Disney, I think Disney has some type of situation with Hulu. And then you have Disney Plus. So for me personally, like with SWAN, like we start off with music and clothing because that's like every nigga's entry level into industries. Right. So we build from there, and like I told you earlier when I was talking about the SWAN, like how SWAN was created. Like I'm very, very much interested in film, TV shows, being a writer, even directing, even acting. Like I didn't know I even was interested in acting until I had did a video with Kai, and they asked me to do a
good job, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate
Go check that out, ladies and gentlemen.
So acting, community stuff, like SWAN community is something I've always wanted to start up. Like there's a stat that says the federal government, like the feds essentially win 95% conviction rate. And I feel like that's because of the lack of resources in our communities on why shit like that can happen, and just having family and friends that's fighting Fed cases right now and seeing the loops and the tricks and the shit that everything pulls. So SWAN community is a big thing. Film, comics, content houses. Like I got a vision for what I want SWAN to be 100%. But right now we take it step by step. And
hell yeah.
The things that's in our resources is you see clothing, you gonna see music, clothing, and the next step that we branching out with is content. We're gonna be a lot heavier in self-producing content. We self-produce the music, we self-produce the clothes. Now you're about to self-produce the content, having more and more content ready and available for when things get released. Just understanding a bit more how to market and how to push things more than we did before.
I love it. And one of the things that I like pride this podcast on is identifying dope people and celebrating them. So I'm sure that SWAN, comes from your mind and you do a lot of work there. But who else is involved with SWAN that helps, get shit popping, whether it's with the shirts, whether it's helping out with music? Can you shout out a few of your team members and just show them some love real quick before we move forward?
100%. Derek runs creative direction. Like anything you see visually runs through the mind of Derek at some point.
Shout out Derek. He printed my t-shirts a few weeks ago. Real one.
Derek actually prints everything. Nate also does designs and does illustrations for us. Alex, my guy Alex, man, he's another one of the minds behind what SWAN does and making sure we staying on point with things and knowing how to bridge bridge us between other companies and knowing how to sell us and pitch us to certain things. My guy Walt produces all of the music.
Shout out
My
Walt.
right hand when it comes to making the music.
Good spirited dude.
Yeah, my homegirl Mo, we help. She helps with a lot of creation, and when we come into this content stuff that we doing now, she aids and throws her hand in a lot. That's the majority of the people that's like on the day to day. Oh, and my boy Kenny, he been out real helpful since I came back for this visit. So that's been with the work team been like here recently, and we've been on it 2-3 times out the week.
I love it. And I ain't gonna ask you to share no behind the scenes about the paper or anything, but like that. But I know that the t-shirts have done well and really helped out. So if you had maybe 2 to 3 tips for other people who are maybe solely focused on dropping a t-shirt brand, what would be some advice you gave to them around building community and really building a support group around a brand? Because every time I see you drop something, it's just a lot of love. It's a lot of love, a lot of support. A lot of people are showing up when you do events and your clothing is there. People buy. You know what I'm saying? It's not just there for show. And no diss to anybody who throws shows and doesn't get any merch buy. It's just part of the process. But for you, I've seen with my bare eyes every single time people showing up and showing love for the products you guys put out there. So is there any tips for anybody else out there that's trying to do the same thing? Maybe even to just other artists who have come out with some merch on how they can grow a little bit.
I don't think there's one direct answer to help everybody. It's like there's something different for everybody, but I know for me personally, I would say, like, all right, when people interact with me, it's more community based.
Mm-hmm.
Like further back, like we take it back to 2017 when I first started to build a name for music out here. Like it wasn't like I was just a rapper. Like, nah, I had a house, and that summer at the house, I was throwing parties and inviting people over. And if it's not the parties, we had a kickback at the house, or hey, yo, we coming through, we recording, come here and listen to some music. Whether you use a fan, a friend, a person to just be around, like. I just made whatever was surrounding me more welcoming to whoever. So I feel like that created something for people to believe in.
Hell yeah. And
then once I actually had something presentable, like something that actually looked good and was something to offer, they already believe.
Yeah, the brand was already established kind of on the low, like just being a good person, interacting,
building relationships,
and then when the time came for you to come out, that's important. And I think like for a lot of listeners out there that are trying to, whether it's t-shirts or not, just anytime before you come out with a product or a service, like highly suggest you build a community first. Building that community, whether you want to call it a fan base or a family or just a community, being able to build relationships and be authentic again when you're that's the reason why I fuck with him so much, to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, is really just authenticity. Like, and I know that sounds like a cliche word or some basic ass word, but in reality, that's just the energy he put out from the day I met him, and I appreciated that because he wasn't trying to be, he wasn't trying to be tough, he wasn't trying to be sweet, he wasn't trying to be nothing. He was just being him, and all and all that mixed together to just be like, oh, he just real, like he not trying to put on no image. And it's kind of easy to see if somebody's trying to be a little extra, at least in my opinion, because I'm just very self-aware of the people I'm around. But when you just straight up and authentic, like people feel that, and like I said, his energy just presents that. So I'm not surprised that you've built a community that's as strong as it is, and I'm sure you'll continue to build even bigger and bigger. So
that's the goal, man. We got that community here in Kansas City. The goal is to make that feel like that
nation,
worldwide.
international. Hell yeah. And this is just kind of a side question. If you could choose one song of yours to walk out to, and you were like, whether it's a walk out to a show or whether it's like you're about to perform for some UFC fighter and they're walking out to one of your songs, whatever. If you could choose one song to walk out to of yours, what would it be?
That's a hard question. It's not released.
He's like, we can't share that yet.
Yeah, it's not a release song. But if I had to choose a release song, Stay Dangerous.
I like that.
That's hard. These my songs. That's a hard question. I think Stay Dangerous would make the most sense, like for our audience.
Hell yeah.
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are a listener of A'sean's music, go ahead and drop a comment under this snippet that I'm going to post on Instagram in a few weeks. and let us know what song you would walk out to if you were a UFC fighter. What A'sean song would you walk out to?
If somebody was a UFC fighter, somebody would probably walk out to No Nigga.
That's what I was thinking in my head. That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking in my head. I love it. All right. So I want to kind of double back in like the life journey of A'sean and talk about sports and basketball. And can we talk about what basketball meant to you growing up and just kind of your experience around the sport and how that maybe contributed to, you know, life in any way, and whether it's mental, physically, but yeah.
Yeah, basketball once was what music is for me today. So like from age like 7 to like 16, like basketball was it. It was the only thing that was possible for me. I wasn't fucking with nothing else. Like it was basketball. I was the little kid. Like it's snowing outside. I'm in the driveway still. Like I'm on the game. Like I'm working on the move. When we in high school, when I was in high school, me and my boy Chris, we used to wake up. School starts at like 7:45. We up at 4 a.m. at the gym doing drills. Then we leave from there. We go to the school. We showering at the school in the school showers. Then we go to class and we got a weights class. Well, sometimes in weights class I'm not gonna lift. I'm going to the gym to get shots up. Then we after school at 3 o'clock we at the gym just to have practice at 7 o'clock again. Like basketball was when people say ball is life. Like nah, ball was life. That was everything. It wasn't that good though. I worked hard, and so. I mean, I'm a disabled man with rheumatoid arthritis, so basketball just, you know, after a while, basketball just didn't work. Like my doctor wouldn't sign off on me playing organized sports, and because of how much I cared about basketball, I knew that I had to figure something out because it wasn't like I just lost my hobby. Like this is what I wanted to do with life.
Hell yeah!
So me losing basketball made me find this music. That was the very next thing I found, and that hard work and all of that energy that I put into basketball, it went straight to music.
And I want to transition into the early days of music for a little bit, but before I do that, can you kind of share for individuals who aren't aware of what rheumatoid arthritis is? Can you kind of share what that is, and you know, what were some of the challenges you were dealing with and may still deal with today?
Yeah, well, I was diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis. It is a type of juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. I was diagnosed when I was 11 years old. It's a chronic pain disease. It's inflammation on the bones, hip joints, and like my lower back, my hips, and like knees get inflamed at times, and it's just basically like fluid pressure on like bones and joints and shit like that. So very, very, very painful problem. But I mean, it's NBA players with arthritis. Like Amari Stoudemire was like, he got arthritis, bro, and he in the NBA and he like elite.
Right.
Like, I could do it if Amari could do it. So like that was a real pushing thing. But like being an athlete and having rheumatoid arthritis is not an easy task. It's an everyday pain. It's not you don't get days off of being in pain. Like I said, everyday thing. It's a constant. Me being here hurts. You gotta walk through and push every single day. It's a mountain that you climb every day, just going through it. So it's now, mind you, I will say when I was heavy and frequent and working out, I didn't deal with much pain. Like my body would be shut down. I go run my 7 miles for the day. No more pain. Like it's gone. So I dealt with a lot of it just being active, and I didn't even find it out until last year that me being as active as I was could stop my body from hurting when it's literally my joints.
That's what I was gonna ask next, because for anybody that follows you on social, for the time you've been in LA, we've been seeing you get active. You know what I'm saying? Seeing you in the gym, running, hitting that treadmill, getting them lifts in.
Yeah, we run with the AC. I don't run outside. I run with the AC.
He said, "Nah, we don't do all that, but the AC will hit." Right on. What gym you hitting, by the way, for all the LA folks? Fitness. Okay, LA Fitness. Fitness. Shout out to my LA Fitness guys. That was the gym I started training at in San Diego, LA.
It's the
LA,
most
the
accessible
premium
gym.
one in California. Yeah, everyone goes
It's the
there.
most accessible. It's everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much everywhere. So are you in LA? Are you like, is everything you do primarily in the Long Beach area, or are you kind of active all over the city? I see you in Hollywood a lot, and then I see you obviously in Long Beach a lot. So yeah, I mean, I know when I was in LA, we on the move all the time. I'm just wondering if that's the same thing for you. If you all over the city, or is there a primary studio you chilling at?
It's all over, man. It's real random. Like, I know, like, staying in Long Beach, I've only been to his Long Beach studio like once. It's like I'm not gonna give it a plug up, but it's a certain app to where like you can look up studios and you can get studios for a discounted, like a cheap price. They don't come with no engineer though. You just gotta have your own engineer.
Right.
So we'll go there. It might be a studio in North Hollywood, or it might be something over in this area, over in that area. And sometimes I'll be doing work out in the valley, closer to Van Nuys and Porter Ranch and shit. So
Porter Ranch, well, you deep. I hope you driving out there. I used to have to take the bus everywhere.
I'm on the bus, bro.
Oh, so you feel me? That me up real quick though. You know, that was me for 3-4 years out there, and I lived in.
On the bus for 3-4 years.
I never had a car. I would Uber sometimes.
I'm driving back.
Oh, smart decision, my boy. Look, I was in Calabasas, dog. I was in Calabasas. That's where I lived, and then I had to transport myself out to the city like every day. Yeah, dog. I'm talking a local whack ass bus that don't even go nowhere. It's like a trolley system, bus trolley system from Calabasas to a bus stop to Canoga Park to another bus stop, take me down through the valley all the way to Hollywood.
You go to Canoga Park, I'll be getting off on Chatsworth.
I hate getting off at Chatsworth. So I don't know how I feel about Chatsworth. Chatsworth remind me of like meth towns. Like, I don't know.
I be keeping score for like the club games at Sierra Canyon though, so that's why.
Oh yeah. I used to not at Sierra Canyon. There was this other small school in the valley. It was like closer to Porter Ranch. It was like a small high school that I used to help coach at until I realized I ain't good enough at basketball to be coaching. In my opinion, that was just my opinion. So I was like, you know what? I had a little imposter syndrome and stopped showing up.
Yeah, they don't be having me coaching, but I pressed the little button to keep.
Hell yeah, no, I see. That's an entertaining place to be.
You run into so many
people, connect with a lot of people. Good basketball too, entertaining basketball.
I met Kyrie like 2 months ago.
Yeah, see. That's the right decision.
People just be pulling up there.
Yeah, no, of course. And then now with Kanye starting his little team in the valley too, that boy wilding. But anyways, let's transition back to early music. So like you said, you know, once you decided basketball may not work anymore, that's when you had to transition that energy somewhere else, and that ended up being music. So were you already writing like while being into basketball, and you were just writing here and there when you was bored? Like, cause this what I heard from around the grapevine when you was in high school is that you'd be in the back, hoodie up, headphones in, writing. So I don't know if that was after basketball or during basketball, or like when did this love happen? Cause most often people kind of have an interest in something they're good at for all their life. They just never got serious about it. So what was that like for you? Was it the same?
Well, for one, I was trash at rapping. I was god awful. But
compared to now, see when you talking to somebody that don't rap,
like back then I was trash, like not even like no like because I used
was trash. All right,
like I knew I was trash.
Okay,
like, while I was
you
rapping,
self-aware.
I knew I was trash. Like, I used to listen to my shit, then listen to the shit that I listened to. It was like something off. It's a lot off right here. You know what I'm saying? So, but once I picked up like, and that may speak to like how obsessive I am with shit. Once I picked up rap, like the work ethic from basketball went straight to rap. So when people is seeing me at school with a hoodie on, like head down, like that's how I was at basketball. Y'all used to just see me sleep at class because I was just up at 4 a.m. fucking playing basketball.
Training, right? Yeah.
I don't have to do that no more. So now I'm in class rapping because what the fuck am I in class?
Yeah.
You know, so that it was because I was still in high school. Like that was. Basketball ended for me summer going into junior year.
Okay, yeah. So you still had pretty much 2 years.
High school. Yeah. For people to be like, he be in class writing in a notebook somewhere. Like, yeah, I was that kid.
That's me.
But because I knew I sucked though, and like I just figured the more reps I put up, like just like basketball, like I didn't have a jump shot until I shot the ball 30,000 times, and now I can shoot.
Took the principles from basketball and threw it over to something you knew love.
You suck right now. If you keep going, eventually somebody gonna think you good. And then I looked up. It probably took me like 4 years of that to where I feel like I finally got good.
And now you fire.
Yeah, man. Hey, it works out like that, man. It works out like that. 8 years later, we fire.
I love that. And like it's a testament to the process. And, you know, like Nipsey Hussle says, the marathon continues, and really believing in that, like understanding that you ain't going to be fire. You're not going to achieve a goal the day you start. You know what I'm saying? But if you put the reps in and you just do what it do. Look, there's somebody young out there listening to this right now that doesn't even know what he likes, but he knows he like Kobe Bryant. Instead of just loving the game, appreciate that, but take some of the principles you can learn from the hard work, the work ethic, like the principles. Let's not just call it hard work. It's like, what did he do every day? He got up and did this. He had a strategy. From 4 a.m. to this time, he would do this. From this time to this time, it's routine, it's strategy, it's reps. And when you can do that and really commit and do that consistently, you gonna win at whatever you do. And like when you just try shit but apply those same principles to whatever you try, you gonna be able to learn quick. You're gonna be able to iterate fast, quickly. You're gonna be like, all right, I put in the work here and I hate this shit. Let me move on. But you know you put in the work. And so you can try shit and you can move on faster when you really apply hard work, you know, strategy and consistency.
You do something enough times, bro, muscle memory will make you win. Just I remember to do it this way.
Yep.
Because you was doing it that many times that way, shit gonna work.
I love it. I love it. And you know, I'm sure you're working with a lot of people from Kansas City still, but I know you transitioning out to Cali and connecting out there. But before we talk about people you're interested in working with in LA or that you started working with, who are some people that you really are happy you got the chance to work with in Kansas City?
Well, shit, the whole Caviar family, like
hell yeah.
From shit Watts, Ray Money to shit Kai, Solomon. I'm about to work with Jazz.
She cold.
Really interested to work with Jazz, bro. Jazz is so fire.
She's super sweet too. Shout out to Jazz. Thank you for coming on the show.
I want to work with Amir before I go back to California. Who else do I want to work with? But I've enjoyed working with Kai, Walt, my boy Zeph. Me and Zeph got so much music.
I love that boy Zeph music. I still ain't met him in actually no, I did meet him once at one of your events, maybe like last year. But anyways, that boy music is just cold, like so cold. And his range of everything he could do is ridiculous.
He got so much in store. But yeah, and I would say like Zeph, Walt, and Kai are probably like the people here in recent times that I work with the most. Probably enjoy working with the most. I'm thankful I can collaborate with them on a consistent basis.
Hell yeah.
Me and Zeph talk about music all fucking day, every day, nonstop.
That's good to hear.
I was just talking to Zeph yesterday.
That's good to hear. I love it. So, like we said, you in LA now. What are some lessons over the past 9 months that you've learned while you've been there? It doesn't have to be particularly around music. It can be about life. It can be about business. It can be about production. It can be about anything, but what are some lessons you've learned over the past 9 months? Because when you're transitioning to a new city, especially a big city, there's a lot of trials and errors that come with that. There's a lot of tough days, tough nights. Nothing's perfect when you just move to a whole different city. I tell you that.
Yeah, and I didn't move with a plan. Like I just up and went because something was offered.
Yeah.
So it's it ain't easy. Everybody, I remember when I first told people I was leaving, like people was like, "You got a deal, huh?" I'm like, "No, bro, I ain't get no deal, bro." Somebody was like, "You just can't tell us." I'm like, "Bro, that's not what happened." I think a lot of people don't realize when you move is when the shit get hard. Like,
true.
I've been grinding for 7-8 years back here in the town for sure, but the pressure don't hit until you like my mama not 15 minutes away. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't just
pop up and go over there.
Go sit on the edge of my mama's bed and like spill my feelings out and my mama just be there. You know what I'm saying? It's just a little different. Shoot. You not like I remember I was telling somebody not too long ago, like, bro, my first like couple weeks out there, we went out somewhere to kick it. We was going to the studio, but we was going somewhere first before we went to the studio. And we was at one of my roommate's homie's house because he wasn't even my homie at this point in time. And I'm in there, and dude looked at me. He was like, "So what you do?" That fucked me up. I hadn't heard that in years. Out here, everybody know what I do. Everybody done seen me rap for these past however many years. Never asked that question. I was out there my first 2 weeks. That was the most humbling shit in the world. Hey, what'd you do? Let me know. Nobody out here know about that shit you do at home. You could be the biggest shit in the world at home. Did nobody know? Don't nobody know. Come do it all over again. And that's the main thing. Like, just don't harbor on the past no more. Like, all the shit you did before, yeah, that's cool. Do it again. Keep doing it again. Keep doing it again till the world know you for that. It shouldn't just be one section of a country that know you for that.
That's real.
Because it's not.
That's
not somewhere else, nobody knows.
Mm-hmm.
You're not the nigga no more. You're the nigga over there.
Mm-hmm.
Come over here, show us you the nigga.
Right. Establish yourself.
Establish yourself, bro. So, like I said, that's my goal. Like, I did what I've done in Kansas City. I'm going to continue to do what I do for Kansas City. But it's about bringing the rest of the country into
Reel everybody in one by one. Yep.
100%.
I love it.
Every city we can, every city, every town that we can loop into this, we gonna add them along.
And that's like kind of another like lesson you learn from sports, you know, especially if you go play D1, D2, D3. Use the shit at your school, buddy. Use the school.
That was the exact example I tossed that, bro. I feel like I just went D1, bro. And like I realized everybody was the nigga.
Everybody on the team code now, right?
Everybody in LA a transplant.
Yep, damn near.
Everybody that I done met at least.
Yeah, yep.
Been a transplant, so they come out here and everybody just as nice as you. Do something.
Right. Everybody trying to do the same thing. You ain't special no more. I think that's what happens to a lot of people is like not too many people. There's a lot of people trying to do music in like smaller cities, but it's not as large scale where somebody's literally dedicating their life to it. They might do that shit on the side, throw a little video up, but you know they ain't hustling, so you ain't really worried about that. But like, you know, when you go to a big town like that where people literally saved $15K for the past 6 years just so they can move out there to chase their dream. Save 30,000. Some folks really saved full life savings for 10 years just so they can be like, I saved all this to move to LA to chase my music career. People be on it, and it's not one person. It's 850,000 of them,
and they nice,
and they go,
and they nice,
yeah.
So
and they at the same level as you. So then, which is also interesting because you like, wait, you cold.
Run into a lot. That's one thing that like going to being out there. I done ran into so many talented people, so many talented people. So yeah, that's probably my favorite part about being out there, bro. Is just the amount of talent you see. Like, we go to the studio, like you gonna feel like you need to write something. Everybody in here writing. It ain't nobody in here just slouching off. Like, if the Chicago homies come out here, they ain't playing. They coming out, they knocking shit out. They in the studio, niggas making beats on spot. It's always a creative energy around whenever I be in the studio with who I be in the studio with out there. Yeah. Whether if you not on the song or not, nigga, you better be writing. So I'm sitting here writing TikTok raps.
Can't be sitting there, right? Yeah,
just gonna be sitting here. Somebody's gonna be doing something.
That's something. That's what's special about cities like New York, Miami, LA, Chicago, depending on your industry, of course. But that's what's special about these big cities is like it's just a different energy. Like you can be in a group full of like 30 people here, ain't nobody in the room doing shit, and I love the city. There's a lot of people hustling out there. Shout out to who you are. You know who you is. But like when you out there, like that energy is just real. Like facts. Everything snap. Bro. You gotta be ready for that too, because that can be stressful on top of everything. Some people will be like hyping that up, like, oh yeah, I just need to be in a faster lifestyle till you get out that motherfucker.
You drained. You out here losing.
Stressed.
Out here losing it, man. California's super fast, man. Super fast.
I love it.
Shit happen in the blink of an eye out there.
Quicker than you know it. But
never been to a place like it.
You said, oh, you never been to a place. Have you been there prior to?
Before, I didn't understand when I went though.
Yeah,
until you get to go live in it.
Yeah, until you engulfed in the culture of that city.
This shit different out here.
Shit is different. Have you been able to like, based off the people you've been kicking it with, experience LA culture though? Like, you know, LA culture, not for real, not yet. It's a beautiful culture out there, my boy.
I haven't tapped in with many of the locals. Like some of the homies that stay over by Lamert and shit, I be over there sometimes, but. As far as people that's like really from LA, like man, really grew up like LA roots and shit, I ain't really tapped in like that. I ain't gonna act like I'm.
They good people, man. When you get a chance, you'll really love they vibe. I really appreciate LA people because you be like, over here eating Skittles, ladies and gentlemen. But You be thinking like, oh, your life must have been sweet. At least that's what I had the brain going up. Oh, you lived in LA. Well, depending on where they grew up, then obviously there's obvious things, right? Yeah, that's just obvious. But like some people be like moving out there and just be like, oh, well, so how was it growing up in LA? Niggas would be like grimy. you be like, huh? So they start telling you life as well. But good people's out there though. So when you get a chance to connect with some LA natives, really enjoy that experience because I think they're special individuals.
I feel like I'll be able to once I get a car, man.
It's gonna be lit. You about to drive back.
Yeah,
I hope you have somebody driving with you.
Yeah. I got somebody riding with me.
Yeah,
I'm not doing the whole 24.
I drove last February with somebody. Boy, I was tired. Hey,
I'm gonna stay at a hotel though overnight. So
yes, but do not go, bro. If you leaving in February,
I'm leaving the first couple of days of March.
Still, do not go through Flagstaff, Arizona, bro. You got the chance of getting snowed in over there, boy. Don't do it. Don't risk it. Try to fly. Try to drive a. Well, you can drive through Arizona, but don't get too close to Flagstaff. I drove, through Flagstaff. Boy, about an hour out of Flagstaff, some snow hit, and that snow got
Arizona.
Yeah, like bad.
It snows.
It snows bad in like Flagstaff area, like for real, like out here, crazy. Like worse than here.
I heard they didn't have basements in Arizona.
That might be true. I ain't really even been in basements in LA. You been in basements in people's houses yet? I haven't. Except a few rich people, like rich, they have fat cribs.
Damn, that's a good ass. Have I been in a basement?
You know they only got basements because of tornadoes, brother.
That's the only reason for basements?
Basements is tornadoes, and then or if you were in a war-torn area or something like that, sometimes they got them little cellars or something.
I ain't gonna hold you, bro. A city with no basements is kind of fucking spooky.
Well,
that's kind of crazy.
You in LA, my boy, you about to.
That's kind of crazy. I never thought about that like that though.
Yeah, there's no.
We from here. I just expect a nigga to have a basement.
Nah, ain't no basements, and a lot of cribs you probably already seen. In case you rich, but a lot of houses ain't 2 floors out there either. It's just one flat floor, straight back or straight to the side. Start paying attention to when you get back there, bro. Watch, you gonna see. Like, wait, hold up. Ain't none of y'all got a basement, but nah, that's crazy. So let's talk about moving forward. Like. Looking forward for music over the next, the remainder of 2022. What can we expect from you? What can we, look forward to? What are you excited about over the next few months?
I got a lot of music finished.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
When it's gonna come out?
So that's a different story.
That's a different story. All I can say is soon.
Soon. I like that.
I know for a fact I got an album this year.
How's that feel though?
Oh, I feel good about it. I mean, I've been not because it's not complete, but like I done had the songs picked for a cool minute now, and now I'm just making sure the rollout shit is all gonna be good, making sure we get everything proper and shit like that. So I'm super excited about it because I mean, this is I haven't sounded like this ever. I'm definitely trying new shit out. Trying a lot of new shit out. Embracing. I mean, I'm sure people can guess what the name of the album is, but
I ain't gonna guess because I ain't trying to get shit wrong.
I make it pretty obvious. But yeah, man, I'm excited for people to hear what I have to offer new. Like, and it's not what I made in LA. I made this before I moved. This music was made here in Kansas City, but definitely sounds very, very different from typical A'sean music. Not the normal approach that I usually take to records. Trying new things out, whatever I learned from vocal classes, whatever I learned from this past year, just traveling the country, being a rapper that I have been, and just putting it all on paper, man. We put it all on paper.
Hell yeah.
Put it all on the floor again. I mean, if people know my music, we put it all out there. Everything is all out on the table. Nothing is held back.
Ever.
Never hold nothing back. So
yeah, I love it. And for shows, you mentioned you have a show here in Kansas City before you head out. And I know you have had some shows while you've been gone. Do you have any other shows outside of Kansas City moving forward? Maybe go ahead and drop for the people again, the one in Kansas City, where that's going to be at and the date.
February 18th, we will be at the Rhino up on Armour Boulevard. It's like right by North Kansas City High School. March 17th, I got a show in LA. I don't know the exact venue yet. But yeah, the 18th is what we pushing for right now. That's the anniversary for One Big Happy Family.
Hell yeah.
3-year anniversary. That shit feel like forever and a day ago. But yeah, 3-year anniversary for One Big Happy Family, man. We pushing the show. We got special guests that I'm gonna be announcing this week. We gonna have board games, arcade games there. You know how the pop-ups be.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's gonna be an open bar this time. I'm not gonna be selling y'all no liquor. The venue,
But it's open bar.
You know what I'm saying? People can go tap in with the
At
liquor.
your discretion.
We gonna have the new merch. Crazy.
I'm ready to see that.
Merch so crazy. We was just looking at the designs yesterday the day before yesterday at the meeting, bro. We did it again, man. We did it again.
We outside.
So I can't wait to see how people react to the new clothes, the new music, because I'm probably gonna perform mostly new music.
Good, because I'm ready to hear something. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to hear new vibes. Although I can run One Big Happy Family for the next 6 years. Talk about what is it called? Like when an album lasts forever. What's it called? There's like a word. There's like a
you say that. I can't say that.
Man,
you say that word.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say that's one of them albums that got, you know, you can listen to that like some Erykah Badu shit. You can like rock that shit for 30 years. And that's my humble opinion, just because I think, again, the word that I've been overusing, authenticity and emotion, and just putting it all on the table. And then also just like this, there was singing on there. There was melodies on that joint. There was straight fire rap on that. There was like real life stories for certain people from the town. You know what I'm saying? There's real life stories. So it's that. Let me just say that it's that.
I'm humbled. I mean, shoot, nigga, call your music timeless. I mean, shoot, what else?
Timeless. There we go.
What else could I,
One Big Happy Family is timeless.
I can't
quote that.
That's what we make the music for, bro. For people to feel like whenever they heard it first, I don't want people to go back or hear it later on and be like, that wasn't so good. That's what I thought it was.
Right.
Like,
never.
If it has the lasting power, bro, that's heavy in. Shoot, if people feel that way about my first project,
can't wait to see what happens moving forward.
I just hope it stays that way. Like people will, the music that I make, no matter how, because I plan on getting very weird and very left. Like, the Secretly We're All Nerds is about to start showing in these songs. So the weirder I go, the further left I go, I just hope the quality of how good it is stays.
Hell yeah. I love that. I love that, man. Well, we're super grateful we got to have you back on the show.
Grateful to be here,
part
man.
2, but really part 1, because we didn't really get to get part 1 out in the first place.
You didn't have a visual aspect.
We didn't have a visual aspect, so I'm glad we got.
Man, I be kind of early on the local media, man. I be kind of hit, bro.
You ain't lying.
Rappers get in tune with the media.
I seen some of your old shit before I interviewed you for my old shit. You know what I'm saying? So look, we're gonna keep going, and hopefully we can get you on here every year until fucking 2045.
Hey man, I'm gonna come tap back in with you when I'm gonna drop.
We lit, man. We lit. Before we head out of here today, I want you to kind of answer this last question for me to your best of your ability. So it's your last day on earth. You're 110 years old. You've lived a fulfilled, happy, fruitful life. And your great-grandchildren are sitting at your feet and they ask you, great-grandpa, give me one piece of advice on how to live a good life. What are you going to tell them?
Do what make you happy. That's it. I feel like if I'm 110, I'm only going to want to do what make me happy in the moment. Because if you I don't even know if I want to live to 110. That's crazy.
I hear a lot of people say
living past 80 is crazy. Like if you live past the age 80, think about what an 80-year-old today has seen in life. He saw the Holocaust.
I've seen a lot, man.
And seen COVID. All in the same life.
All in the same life.
Oh, nah.
All
Get
in
me the fuck out of here.
That's crazy. Yeah. 110 years, well, that's a lot of lived life. A lot of wisdom. But yeah, no, I love it. I love it. Hey, man, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you do whatever the fuck you want to do with life. Be happy with the choices you make. And before we sign out, let the people know where they can find you, how they can support your music, and how they can support the merch.
You can support the music and the merch all at the same location as www.swan.team. Instagram is I Love You A'sean. Twitter is still fuck you, A'sean, but we fixing it. We gonna bring this back around to the love. And yeah, that's where you can find me at on the socials though.
I love that. And you know, make sure you love yourself. If you've been following his Instagram, his Twitter, you know, he's exactly. He's been reminding y'all that every day. So I love it. This is your boy C-I-double-Z-Y, live action, Kansas City, Missouri, with another episode of the College Toucher Show. Make sure you tap in, leave a 5-star review, and share with a friend, because that is the only way we can grow. We're gonna see y'all at the top. Salud.